Alright, we are back with Terra Invicta. I'm aware it has been a while. A lot has been going on, as you can imagine. But I've just got some new sound equipment, so while this video might sound a little bit shonky, I thought this was a great opportunity to test out some new recording equipment and push on with our playthrough while I experiment with this new kit before I use it on one of my Ukraine videos. So here we are. Okay, so we can now research alien technology because last time we shot down an alien. But we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be racing towards that. Instead, we're pushing on for fission pulse drives and a couple of other things. We're boosting our material science research pretty much as fast as possible. We've got Space New Zealand up here doing its job. We've got Space Australia doing its job. Everyone's in the material science business at the moment because what we want is to get these drives, which will hopefully let us push some stuff out into the asteroid belt. The other approach, which we might be able to try at the same time, alternatively, if we want to make do with some sort of low delta V warfare, is we can pick like a nothing asteroid out here. 106 Dione might be a good option. What we want to do is basically pick an asteroid that's close to where they are with maybe a couple of local resources might be nice, but doesn't really matter. In a good launch window, so 129 Antigone is a good option. Got to remember we're three-dimensional here, so it's all a little bit complicated. You've got to make sure you're picking your site right, because this is our backup approach. As our backup approach, what we can do is we can launch a shipyard or two out towards Vesta and try and hit Vesta before the game is up. So Metis, yeah, why not? So we are at 81 of 83 mission control, so we're pushing it, but we will found a platform at probably, well, the thing's got basically no gravity, right? Yeah, the thing's got basically no gravity. As long as we've got at least one G of acceleration, we should be fine. 1 mg of acceleration, we should be fine. So we could go in an interface orbit, but I don't think we gain anything. So 444 days. This is our backup, right? So if all else fails, that in late 2028, yeah, we'll be pushing it, but we can probably produce some ships from here in time, right? So we go to High Metis, and what we want to produce at Lysander Station here, which is going to be pretty simple, is we're going to want a fission pile, 444 days, a space dock, 444 days, a fission pile, and a space dock. And what this means is if we need to, we can produce a grand total of 2 ships from here in time. Will that be enough to take on like Shattered Dream Station? What has it got? It's got a battle station. No, it's probably enough to kamikaze, but we might be able to produce just a couple more ships than we otherwise could in time. It might let us bolster our forces just a bit. I could even use one more MC to produce one more station out this way to do the same thing. I mean, if we were really gutsy, what we could do is we could provoke the aliens and we could just found a platform around here. This is the thing about provoking the aliens, right? Shooting them down early is great for unlocking like their technology and stuff, but we really don't really want to piss them off to the point where they start blowing stuff up. Like at the moment, they just keep crash landing in Earth or doing like whatever it is those destroyers are doing around Earth. There's nothing like overtly hostile. I feel like that will change if we keep shooting at them. But all right, we'll keep it at that and we'll see if we can send some fission pulse ships out there, but they should be able to have just a few reinforcements. I am kind of tempted to, Bonza can do that. We're investigating that activity, that's fine. We're losing a little bit of popularity in the EU, so we'll keep an eye on that, but we also need to be assaulting the xenoforming to make sure we don't lose our beloved EU. So what is completing at Leon 1? This is Nano Factory, so this is going to be an economy station, so it's got its power generation running, but nothing else. That reminds me, if we are not going to construct any more point defense ships, and I don't think we will, we should go to Space Australia. Also, Space Australia will need a massive shipyard enlargement. When we're getting close to unlocking our technologies, we're going to want to... How long does a space dock take to construct? 30 days, yeah, so not long. What we're going to want to do is turn this into being like 10 space docks or 12 space docks across all of our across all of our stations, so that we can spam out enough ships that maybe we make a dent in the alien battle station. But the point is, for now, I don't actually need these. and I can make a saving on my resources. It's only a small one. By shutting those down. I could also temporarily replace them with labs, because I don't think I'm going to be building any more ships for a bit. So you know what? I'm just going to do this. And we're just going to do material science research for a while. We're going to have to swap it around when we actually comes time to research the actual drive itself. That's going to be fun, because I'm pretty sure it's a different technology class. So we'll need to swap all of our labs again, but you know, we have the resources coming in. We're doing fine on the resources. What's that? So that's another, going to be a mission control station. There we are, so up to 89. So I could actually throw a second shipyard. Do I want to throw a second proximity shipyard out there? I kind of feel like I do for maximum trollage. So we're at 82 MC, and we will produce more MC. I'm pretty sure I've got more. No, I don't have more MC being produced, so we'll need probably one more MC station around Earth orbit. But we could just outright launch an orbital. Maybe out this way. Like, there's lots of potential targets. Let's decide what the simplest target is going to be. Like, we've gone 9 metis, but really what I haven't checked is, I haven't checked that their orbit's actually going to hang around. Like, it's actually going to be close. I did that badly. I didn't check their orbits. That was dumb. So what I could do is I could fire off an orbital. It'll take 511 days to Vesta. Launch it into high Vesta orbit. Clausewitz station, that's appropriate. And what we do is we throw 4 fission piles. After this, I'm going to need to immediately order another MC station. 4 space docks. 2 more fission piles. And 2 more space docks. Fantastic. Did I accidentally spend all my boost? I probably accidentally spent all my boost. Anyway, that's Clausewitz stations. That's actually, if they don't blow that up, that may be our option to surprise them, as we exploit the fact that they are not yet, I don't think, overtly hostile to us. By the way, this definitely marks the point in the demo play where we are moving way away from what I would be doing in an actual playthrough, which would be all about massive economic development, scaling Mercury, Venus, like building up fortress inner planets. This is just, we've shot down an alien by 2027. I want to try and claim an alien station by the end of the demo. I just think that's a good thing to try and do, which means Earth will need a little more boost to launch an orbital. Great. Oh, we can't launch, we can only launch LEO at the moment. You know what, okay, I'll go cheap on this. So LEO MC, there should only be 1. Because this is not ideal, we would not normally structure it like this, and then we will build in space our usual MC array station. This will put our budget firmly into the negative. But should support some of the mission control requirements that we're going to need. That plus the additional ships that we build, MC that we build on planet Earth, should put us in a better position. So let's go back to Earth and actually get time rolling. The American military is desperately waiting for its next victim.
Standing by.
I think our homelands are mostly secure. European Union's defended, America's defended, Canada, we've abandoned Mexico, which is the right move. Okay, so Dawn, we should get back into sort of a groove here. Dawn can advise, and she'll have the biggest advise impact in China. Rowena, we shouldn't be doing advise in many places, simply because we don't have much influence income. We're kind of running tight on influence. It's 3.9 per month. European Union, Russia, public opinion's looking good. But let's have public opinion going on over there. And Bonza's basically going to go around the world blowing up alien xenoforming attempts. So your permanent assignment, China. The energy crisis event has put, this extreme inequality everywhere, which is kind of shit. Sort of damages things. But, we'll do our absolute best with it. Should have put that permanent. There we are. So that'll just hold up our public opinion in our core states. Bonza can go around blowing stuff up. And I do apologise again for this. This is really a guinea pig recording session. I've got entirely new hardware, which I have not a clue how to make work for me first. But here we are. We are trying. Okay, Bonza's the only one we need to assign. Is there anything we need to blow up? Yes, there is. Over here in America. You may not xenoform America. What does the initiative want to buy? Okay, so the initiative wants to buy the details of solar array. They want to buy Horizon Consultants. You can't have that. They want 1,000 water. And they want 100. They can't have my influence. I don't. Okay, let's just clean up a little bit here. Okay, I want as much money as you're willing to give me. 13,621. I don't really want these ones. Do you have anything good? I almost wish there was like a preview of what they did in terms of yields, but I imagine that might get a little bit busy. That's kind of good. That's just generically average. Lots of small money ones. Look, we'll buy 2 of those. What's that? No. No. I don't want to sell you my water, but I'll give you nano factories. So it's just giving you technology. I'm fine giving you technology. I would like you to advance. It's fine. What else do I have that I don't really need? I have way more fizzles than I could ever need, but those can be sold. You're going to need a little bit more. Maybe I give up one of these. There we are. Fair trade. Done. Anything to keep my money held up, because we're now running a deficit, as you may have noticed. But deficit spending is all the rage. It's how developed nations just do things. So, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to make China work. Is that Clausewitz Station finishing its... Clausewitz Station finishing its space docks, but it's not going to finish its actual main station until the second half of 2028. Awesome. So it's completely useless for the moment, but that is the way it is. Bonds are continuing to just murder anything that doesn't look human, which is good. Well, human or earth, flora, and fauna, which is fine. How are we doing on progress here? We're about halfway through fission pulse drives. We'll get a little bit more of a boost soon. Did I turn off? I turned off councillors. Do I need to be declaring war on anyone? I don't think so. I don't want to start ship... The obvious people would be to clean up some of these protectorate nations around here, but the protectorate, whatever. I could add Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan to Russia. That would be an option. How are you going? You're at 40 out of 80 on nuclear weapons. Okay, so an invasion for Turkey is coming at some point in the future. Maybe not right now. Bonza, what's your coup odds in Turkey? We could make it not bad, but that is a lot of ops. Bonza, how about you just start building up... how about you build up some public campaign? Actually, no. Do we have anywhere we need to suppress? No. Well, that's good. I've got basically no unrest anywhere. That's kind of good. I've got no unrest anywhere. All right, so you are going to make us just a tad more popular in Turkey. Turkey is going to be our next objective, if only because, again, Alien worshipping Turks with nuclear weapons, just not on my agenda, really. I could do without that. I really don't care what your opinion on Erdogan was. He isn't a pro-alien nuclear weapons builder. And that money continues to go more negative. But this is the way I scale the space economy. You should expect my money to go negative until I start getting nanofactories up. And without Mercury, it's going to be very hard to run a nanofactory economy. You just can't do it efficiently around Earth. I'm happy with my assignments. Keep going. Victor 9 has arrived in alien orbit. We are definitely not going to shoot this alien down. I don't want to start a protracted fight. We claimed one. They can write it off as luck. They can say, oh, you know, the Monkai got lucky and we won't make that mistake again. I'm just hoping they don't start blowing stuff up. So if we just leave them, I'm hoping we're okay.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
There's a coup somewhere in the world. Yeah, there's a bunch of coups happening. Okay, so I'm guessing that was Chad has undergone a coup d'etat. And as a result, all the alliances are changing. That's okay. We'll run one more cycle and then I'll just do a quick updates and check for orgs, which you should do periodically just to keep these things optimized. You can see we're doing all right. If I want to get more, if I wanted to get more yield, another thing I would be doing now. So if you want to know things that I'll be doing, I will definitely do a playthrough of this game when it releases properly. I will absolutely do that. I will not play the Resistance. I'm not sure who I'll play. I'm considering playing like Humanity First and going full like Imperium of Mankind sort of playthrough on the aliens, or maybe like picking up a less picked choice like I don't know, maybe the Academy or something, some Star Trek style stuff. But I'm not sure exactly who I'll run through, but I will run it through and it will be more economically optimized. And one of the things I would be doing right now is going to tier 2 settlements so we could get increased mining output, and we'd be going for the inner planets. We may still get to the inner planets in time, but we're certainly not going to get to them what I would call on time. Sanctioning North Korea, sure. I mean, probably shouldn't have because they still have their nukes, but whatever. All right, now we have plenty of MC in buffer. We're at negative 142 cash a month, but I can live with that as long as I keep trading for money occasionally, and the nano factories should help when they finish, or at least they'll take the edge off. Oh, you said you can steal something. I like stealing. Rowena's much better at stealing stuff though, isn't she? You lied. You said you'd have an option to steal something. You don't have an option to steal anything. You lied to me. Can anyone level up? Yes, they can. Administration. Administration. Everyone gets, before they get to anything else, everyone gets to 25 administration. Because orgs are fun and orgs are good. Okay, so you have 1 extra capacity, you got 2 extra capacity, 2 extra capacity. Cool. What do we got unassigned? So it's mining, lots of mining. Is there anything cool? No, I don't want you right now. Is there anything cool in the marketplace? Yeah, there's all this stuff. So these are the super expensive security agents. I can't afford these. These are far too expensive. Now these are cool. These major intelligence agencies, they're great because they sort of, in administration, they pay for themselves, and they have great yields and they have great missions. They give solid boosts. The problem is they're bloody expensive. Like look at DARPA. That's 15% military science and 8% bonus on all your military investments. That's great, but it's 95 cash a month. Like, oof. And look at the WHO. Like WHO helps you make life better, man. 10% welfare is nothing to sneeze at. 15% life science, nothing to sneeze at. 235 cash a month. I'm getting nervous because I'm already at 132. Like, just no. Meanwhile, over here I can get 6% welfare for just -5. Nah, I'm not liking any of these, frankly. So we're going to go to our unassigned orgs and try and put them in place instead. Are any of these worthwhile? Let's go to our non-government, like useless person. And you get our best mining organization, which I think is this. Watch our resources up top. Bang. So most of our resource scaling at the moment is coming from the fact that I've managed to stack a 97% org bonus, which I will absolutely keep doing as ruthlessly as I can. I could get money and influence, or I could get even more yield and money. I mean, the influence would take me off the bottom, so I'm actually going to pick up media group here just for the moment, which will make me just slightly more positive on influence. Space mining. Not many choices here. Could unequip this guy, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just do this actually. So we got another potential small boost there, and there we are. We've just upgraded our mining income just a bit and taken a slight edge off the money. We've halved the deficit there, and we've increased monthly influence from 0 to 9. That is the power of administration. Absolutely, we're going to help the Americans out during their hurricane. Why would I not? Who do you think I am? Some sort of Illuminati world manipulating organization that doesn't actually care about the people I'm protecting? No, that's not me at all. I care. All right, awesome. What I might actually do in a minute is this might be the point where I start putting cuts in. So I might cut here, and then once we're, actually no, I was going to say, oh shit. Well, it's okay, we should be able to repair that, that's fine. We're not going to impose sanctions. We're going to build that in space. I was going to say, once we've researched fission pulse drives, I'll be back. I'm like, mate, we're going to have fission pulse drives in just a second. Here we are. Riding into space on nuclear explosions was proposed as early as 1947, long before we knew we were not alone in the universe. Yeah, this is an old idea. I don't think they could have made it work in the 40s, by the way. But the idea here is now we absolutely can. So, with this in place, we're going to go mission to the inner planets, but we're going to de-emphasize it. Actually, no, we'll fully emphasize it for the moment, but as soon as, actually, I'm going to de-emphasize it and see if I can pick this up. But the moment we unlock fission pulse drive as the next technology, let me just check what school of technology it is. View full tree. I'm going to have to reset all of my labs. Okay, so we're going to need energy. Energy. So we want to go to Space Australia and Space New Zealand. And all these material labs, I'm pretty sure they're all going to become energy labs. There's a bunch of spare energy here, isn't there? Yeah, cool. So we should be fine. Thank you, material science. You were good to us. But now we need energy labs. Lots and lots and lots of... Oh, that's saying we're going to be out of power. So we're going to need an extra one to power it. Just because the energy labs are that much more energy intensive. Let's go to Space Canada. We won't be able to change all of them over, I don't think. We'll keep an eye out for when the power warning goes. Is it here? No. There. All right. It's not worth retooling those two then. That's fine. So that should give us a significant boost. That's Space Canada and Space New Zealand done. Space Australia will have... Space Australia can also probably accommodate some, but Space Australia is going to, in the end... switch back to shipyards anyway. That'll do. All right, so now we just wait to unlock the project. We were by far the biggest contributor, so we should unlock the project pretty reliably and pretty quickly. And we're going to research nuclear bomb engines. Note that we don't have nuclear missiles for our ships. We just are going to research nuclear bomb engines. There it is, Orion drive. Okay. We'll spend the 3 days to finish solid core fission reactor 3. Make that 2 days to finish solid core fission reactor, and then we're going to research nuclear bomb engines. For the lols. Alien megafauna. Oh, because of course the servants don't do anything about xenoforming, which means the servants end up with a bunch of megafauna in their land. So I'm going to do exactly nothing about that because I'm not invading Argentina to save it. Like, it's not getting much nuclear weapons progress. It's Turkey I'm going to next when they get to nuclear weapon progress a little bit more than they are. All right, so we're doing Orion drive and nothing but Orion drive. Research completion is targeting 10 March 2028. Now, as soon as our energy labs come online in early next month, that should significantly cut down. Or at least that's what I'm gambling on. So I'm not sure if I'm going to cut to that. I'll cut to the next thing that is interesting at this point. Okay, so we've just finished our nanofactories. Now, you remember we were seriously in the negative. But through the addition of this admittedly very expensive station, we've added a whole bunch of income. So we're now at plus 239. Now that's not a lot of money. That does not go very far, but it goes a little way. And it's a expensive capital investment way. Remembering this station costs 3 mission control to get a little bit of money income happening in orbit. This also functions as our tier 2 construction module. And each of these is giving a 2% bonus to investment in the economy priority. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We've just basically increased the effectiveness of our GDP growth on Earth by 12%. So if we wanted to scale this a little bit around Earth, this would be a serious option. In fact, I may actually do that. Because I think I'm still going to have the mission control to build a decent fleet when the time comes. Really, I should have done this before, because these are only going to be done towards the end of our playthrough. But, you know, some good practice is some good practice. There you are. Key to improving GDP growth one of the keys to improving GDP growth on Earth. We don't want corridor diplomacy. We don't want anything. We just want to drop nuclear bombs out the back of our tin cans so that we can go and suicide against some alien fortifications. Okay, that's basically what I want. I've managed to bring the research time back to 14 January 2028, which will give us 2028 to build things. We've replaced the mining complex, but I'm also putting up more energy labs using the spare slots I had on Luna and on Mars. So that'll give us just a little bit extra. We're starting to get more popular in Turkey. Maybe we'll be able to use a coup. Otherwise, the American military is just going to go do what it does, which is clear out servants from places. Long way to go fixing China, but we're doing our best. If not for the energy shortage event, we'd be on a much better trajectory. But as it is, I'm only just now bringing down inequality in the EU and America down to reasonable levels again. That was more energy labs finishing than I heard, so that's bought us a few more days. Aliens are building more bases, that's to be expected. So Ceres now has a construction module, that's great. We're not going to invest there in the time scale of this playthrough because we've now got like less than 2 years left to play. And we've got a pretty clear objective set. I'm going to get Bonza to go clear this up and I will skip ahead to the next interesting development. I'm kind of tunnel visioning on our goals now because I think we've got the basics covered. And there's a huge amount of stuff that I want to be doing. I could show you how to optimize planetary economies, at least as I see it, how to start scaling your space economy into tier 2, all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of lessons I could teach, but we don't have enough time left in the demo to do that, and I need to leave some things for when we do the full game playthrough. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. In testament to man's... I'm not sure whether this is mankind's stupidity or just mankind's creativity or some combination of both, but here we are. We have unlocked the Orion drive. They said it was madness, but the dream of detonating nuclear bombs to push a ship through space can now be realized. And we finished some additional MC. I put a whole bunch of shipyards into service. I'm not sure what I want to be researching here. None of it really matters. I mean, I want other stuff to upgrade my ships, but I don't have any time. Like, I would love to have adamantine armor. Like, this would be really useful. But, frankly, I'm not going to have time to... I'm not going to wait until... When would I get it? I don't think I'm going to wait until March in order to have decent armor. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start doing research for the inner planets instead. So maybe we can get out there by the end of this and let's go design a ship. It's going to be kind of shit, but it's going to have legs. So we want probably a monitor still. We want it to be a space superiority aircraft, not aircraft. And you notice I haven't done any good research on anything else. So we still have some shipbox titanium arrays. We're going to want copperheads. We saw these. We're just strapping as many missiles as possible to a ship. That's just how we roll. For armor, again, favorite. We're going to add this boron carbide because we don't have anything better. We'll slap 4 armor on the front, and that'll be that. Utility modules. It needs a water heat sink, probably not a heavy one. And now engines. We've got solid core fission reactor 3. And we've got this thing, the Orion drive. They said it was madness, but here we go. You only get 1 tube with the Orion drive. It's basically a giant shield plate. There's a magazine in here. It drops nukes behind. The nukes propel the vessel forward. That's how it works. The propellant tanks are nukes. So we can get some serious delta V off these. And we have 1.6K. So how much delta V do you think I need? Is 27 delta V enough? That is a question. Let's throw a battery on here. I'm thinking 27 delta V is going to be enough. We can spend more to go up to 30. All it's affecting at this point is our acceleration and the overall value of the ship. So my goal was to build like 10 of these things. I think we can build 9 right now. If I commission my ship boxes that I currently have, we can build 12. I don't think I have 12 shipyards. Look, let's save this at 27 kps, and then between episodes what I'll do is I'll make sure that's probably enough to at least make a one-way trip out to the asteroid. But let's save this. What are we going to call this? You know, this is the Manhattan class monitor. Let's just check how many shipyards I have available. Clausewitz Station has all these unpowered ones. The rest are in construction. So off camera, what I did was I've tried to time it. Let's check when they're going to be ready. In 10 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there's more on Space New Zealand. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we'll have 13 shipyards. I should be able to put together 13 mission control. So we have enough resources. We'll send 13 nuclear-powered monitors to go confront an alien base station. We'll find the weakest alien base station we can somewhere in the asteroid belt, and hopefully with 13 vessels, each mounting 4 missile tubes, which is what? 52 missile tubes? Not bad. I'll take it. We can go ruin one of these orbitals, I'm hoping. Let's have a look at Shattered Dream Station again. I realize I don't know how to count, it's late. Okay, so this thing's just got 1 battle station, a fusion array, and a ring core. Now, I don't think our missiles enable us to bombard the actual site, but that's probably okay because this thing's got defense arrays, and I'm pretty sure basic missiles can't be used for bombardment. I'm pretty sure for that you need railguns, nukes, or lasers. All I've got is missiles. So we'll have to settle ourselves by destroying the space station or getting our entire fleet absolutely mowed down by one alien battle station. Bearing in mind, an alien facility that's properly developed is going to have like a layered array of these things and the upgraded version. So we're going to target them while they're still weak, and what we're going to try and do is at least prove to them that they can't set up their bases in the asteroid belt with complete impunity. Yeah, sure, Jupiter and whatever, we can't really touch them, but we should have enough Delta V to clear them out of this. We could maybe even have enough Delta V to go to Jupiter. If this was a real game, I might have been launching a station towards probably Ganymede. I would have done mission to outer planets, mission to inner planets, and started launching some infrastructure out here while the aliens were still trying to wear a facade of only being like infiltrators, abductors, manipulators. But that option really isn't available to me. So there we are. That's what the approach we're going to take is. We've designed our ship. There we are. The Manhattan class monitor, which is, you know, a ship box with a little bit of armor on the nose, 4 missile arrays, a magazine, basic like game starter, like a Tesla battery, so titanium arrays, some water as its heat sink, an upgraded nuclear reactor, and a whole bunch of bombs and a magazine we're going to drop behind it. This is a great idea. It's fantastic. It can't go wrong. And it's what we're going to build next episode.